let's just sew whatever.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are making the Linda Sling from So Many Creations. I love the way this turned out. It's a really cute, simple, domestic friendly pattern. There is a flap, and that flap has an ID window, and it closes this way so that it doesn't fall out while you're walking around, of course. And then it's got 6 credit card slots. And then on the back it has a zippered pocket. This is unlined. And then it has this little compartment that closes with a snap. And then the zippered top with nothing inside, just lined and easy. I had a lot of fun cutting this and sewing this up. The flaps I feel like are a little flimsy with the materials I use since they're meant to be raw edged. So if you wanted to, you could use maybe cut it down by like 3/8 of an inch, but like a little stabilizer on one piece. Woven on both if you wanted to use a woven, just to give it a little structure on those flaps. But if you like droopy flaps, then continue on with the pattern, but I don't mind it. Okay, let's have some fun making it. All right, we're gonna start on our strap. Oh my God. Well, we're off to a great start, aren't we? I am not going to be piecing my strap. I'm going to use it as it is, length of the fabric. So I'm going to start by peeling and folding to a 1/2 inch line. And then we'll fold over and top stitch. The way Jess has you do the strap in the pattern makes sense if you're purchasing a smaller amount of cork. But we had a big old roll to use. Okay. And then repeat all that. Folding over to match as close as you can. The cork that I'm using may look a little bit different than if you got the Sew Whatever project box because it is the sample. I just didn't have any more of the one that's included in the box to be able to make this with, but it's still really pretty, so I am not mad. All right, and then we're going to top stitch that on all 4 sides. And the strap should measure at least 51 inches. My stitch length is set to a 4.5. I was gonna say, and I might run out of bobbin. Hoping I have enough. I don't know if I will. We'll find out. Fabric. should snap. All right, and then we're gonna prep for option 2 since we are using a magnetic snap. Oh no. Pull out the thread where we can, and I'm just lining this up, putting my needle in to start. And then she has you just rivet your strap. No? Okay, no, we haven't done that yet. We just top stitched. So it doesn't tell me to do anything with this, but I'm just gonna go ahead and make my crossbody strap. So I need my 2 1/2-inch snap hooks and a slide adjuster. Did I only grab 1 snap hook? Yeah, I did. All right. So with my slide adjuster face up, wrapping around that center bar. For a 1/2-inch strap, you could just rivet. I think I might. So I'm just gonna punch a hole, punch my hole, add a rivet, one through the base, up through the top, add the cap, and set that slowly. And then I've got 1 snap hook here. I'm gonna go up and over and make sure your snap is facing out. And then this is where we'd add our other snap. Wrap that around and rivet, but I'm gonna wait to do that. I don't feel like getting up right now. And it's just the strap, it's not the end of the world. Okay. So now we're gonna find our little 1x4 tabs. This is G, and this is a single fold, but I think we're folding top stitch both G tabs down. Long sides, tab should measure. Okay. So lining up the raw edges. We're not going to see the ends, I don't believe. They're just going to be tucked in your bag. So I'm only going to do, well, maybe you do. Okay, we're gonna set those aside, and then we're gonna grab piece H. For H tab, first mark on the back bottom left corner the washer placement. So grab a pen and my ruler. So we're gonna find the center, which is 1/2 of 3. Goodness, that was harder than it needed to be. Washer should be placed roughly, cut the 2 slits. All right, so we're gonna lay that centered in that corner. So those should be just over 1/2 inch in. Cut that hole, and then we're gonna install the male portion of the snap here. Fold the prongs in, otherwise you're not going to have anywhere to top stitch. And then fold that in half and top stitch all the way around. Alrighty. Then it says you can trim it so that it's about 1 inch wide. Mine's just a little bit wider. That's okay. Twizzler time. Alright, G tabs. We'll need our D rings, and we'll just clip those as they are. And then she goes into telling us how to finish the strap. Which, like I said, I'm gonna finish that later. So now we're gonna work on our credit card slots. Begin by top stitching 1/8 of an inch from the top long edge and place double-sided tape on wrong side along the bottom of each edge. Okay, nothing is getting folded. Okay, I just wasn't sure. Those are top stitched, and then a piece of double-sided tape along the bottom of each. Okay, and now we need piece A. Okay. Piece A, place the first pocket 1 3/4 down from the top of A, centered. That's not the top, it's a little wobbly. And now if you have any imperfect edges, make sure that you put those underneath the others. So, okay. So we should have about 1 inch along either edge hanging out. Press that down, and then we're gonna sew along the bottom edge at 1/4 of an inch. And I'm stopping at about 1/8 of an inch from the other side. And you can tie off to the back should you choose. And then we'll grab this next one. And this is going to go 1/2 an inch down from this pocket. So find your top edge. Okay. And we'll top stitch that down. And I'm just pulling my threads to the back really quick for this one anyway. And then this next one, when all 3 pockets are in place, sew down sides and bottom 1/8 of an inch and divide the center. Okay. All right, so now that's in place, we're going to sew down the sides and the center. All right, so this was 8 inches wide. So 4 inches is the center. So I'm just making some guide marks. I think I'm gonna go to the line and come up. And then go over like not even a full stitch and come back down. So they're like right next to each other, but not too close. And then up the other side. And I'm back stitching to help reinforce. Oh, wow. Pull threads to the back if I can. Okay. Looks so pretty. Oh, I love it. Okay. So that's our 6 credit card pockets. And now we're going to prepare the ID window. Use template 3 found in the back of the pattern to trace and cut out the center of piece I for the ID window. To prepare the ID window, use double-sided tape to place it. Remove. Next, stitch around the opening. I also like to top stitch 1/8 of an inch from the bottom outside edge. So it looks like we'll top stitch down there. I'll go ahead and tape this down. I would recommend taping all 4 sides just so things don't stretch and shift as you go. I don't think you're gonna need to put a little thumb hole, but maybe you could. All right. And then I wouldn't necessarily start in a corner. It won't be as easy to hide your threads, but you can if you prefer. I'm grabbing my thread. Like, well, I'm trying to. There we go. And honestly, I think I can kind of hide this thread. All right. And then the bottom edge. So whichever you want to be the bottom edge, you can top stitch. All right. All right. So now we can make a cute little triangle flap, and I do want to. I love the way that looks. I think it gives a lot of dimension. So we can decide, okay, looking at this, I want, I mean, they're pretty identical. I think I want this to be the flap though. So I'm gonna flip this over. This is my exterior. So we're going to cut the bottom corners of both flap pieces by measuring up 1 inch over 1 inch and create a 45-degree angle. Remember, the flap is wider than it is tall, and be extra careful with directional cork. All right. So 1 inch, 1 inch, and create a little angle, and that's what we're gonna cut. Oh, I love it. I might also add my tag to the flap. Yeah, I'm doing it. All right, so this is the flap if it were facing down. We've got 7 inches, so 3.5 is the center. tying off those threads on the back of my tag. And then I'm going to add a little piece of duct tape. All right, it's not going anywhere. So now we're going to take this piece and imagine the flap lifts up. How do you want the print to be directionally? A strange little piece there. And then we're going to angle the flap the exact same way. 1, 1, crossed. And if you're worried that it's not going to line up, you can go ahead and double check and even trace these corners if you wanted. Okay, and now we are going to be using this piece for our ID window. We want our top stitched edge down here, and this is going to be laid 1 inch up and centered. And now if you're worried about it moving, you could use double-sided tape, or you can use a little bit of like masking tape or painter's tape. Just gonna hope and pray. I'm pretty sure we're going to, huzzah, top stitch around that ID window. But let's find out. All right, I'm double checking my orientation. Open once window is in place, so sides and top, leaving room at the bottom. Okay. Okay. So this is the bottom of the flap, but the top of my ID window. Well, where the ID goes in, I should say. I'm only sewing through one layer right now. I was like, wait. Okay, there's that. And now we're going to put these right sides together. This is a raw edged pattern, isn't it? No, okay. Right sides together, okay, cool. Great. Do not sew the top. All right, I'm not sure what the seam allowance is. I'm gonna guess, okay, 1/4 inch. So I'm gonna back stitch at the top, pivot at that corner, pivot again, pivot again, and pivot again. And then we pivot again. Okay. Trim the corners. so that they sit nicely. But you really don't have to trim much else. We're gonna turn that and top stitch. Okay, magnetic snap. If you adding a magnetic snap, nah, I'm not gonna tell her. Okay. So this is the free edge down below, so your magnetic snap is just going to go right underneath it. Oh, I need to top stitch first. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, I love these colors together. So pretty. I do wish this was the pearl cork, so I would know exactly what it looks like all together, but this one is still just as pretty. All right. And there's that. So we're still not going to sew through the top. We're going to top stitch at 1/8 of an inch. I'm carefully stopping in the corner, pivoting, and continuing on. I'm obsessed. Okay, stop. Don't be. All right, this is the bottom. We're gonna fold this in half. Make a crease. And we can also measure, but okay. I'm just gonna mark my center really quick, but we're gonna grab another washer. You want to get it as close to the bottom as possible without going through your top stitch. So it looks like we should be pretty good right there. And then do not cut through your exterior. Okay, so this is right at the bottom edge. We're gonna just carefully slit through. There we go. All right. And this is male. The other male snap. So this is the outie snap. We're going to secure that through there. If you want to add a little bit of stabilizer, you can. We're folding the prongs in on themselves, carefully pressing that down. Looks good. Adding flap. For this step, you will need your finished flap as well as the outside A with credit card pockets. Mark 1 inch down from the top or 1/2 inch above the first pocket. Center the flap. And top stitch. I might use a little bit of 1/8 inch double-sided tape. It's really hard to see where the 1/2 inch is because of the vinyl matching. There we go. Okay, lining that back up. So I've got 3/4 of an inch on this side and not quite 3/4 of an inch on this side. So I'm going to bump it over just a teeny tiny bit more. All right, so a little over 3/4 and a little over 3/4. And 1/2 inch above. Get out of here. And then starting at the top stitch of my flap, I'm going to end on the top stitch on the other side. And then you can pull your threads to the back. Alrighty. Place the flap okay, fold that down. And we'll top stitch again. Yeah, everything lines up really well. Okay, so, oh wait. Oh, okay. Fold that down and top stitch at a 1/4 of an inch. And you're doing that 1/4 of an inch. It might look a little funny, but it's so that you're hiding the raw edge underneath. So if you need to mark that out, you can. I'm going to start by back stitching. So it's kind of cool, like that's a tight fit for your ID. I was a little worried, but that's kind of cool because like you can flash it, but it's not gonna like fall out. And then you can still, like I said, access those credit cards, but they're not gonna fall out. All right, place your washer below the credit card pockets. The way I'm gonna figure that out is by making a little stamp here on the male portion, folding that flat, pressing, and that's where my next washer needs to go. And then wipe off any excess. And it just goes right below. seam rib, and then if you need to add some stabilizer, you can. And then catches nicely. All right, I think we can set this aside for now. Yep, we're gonna work on the back, which has a zippered pocket. So this is the other A. It says I need D and J. Oh, okay. I do not need this piece. All right, and then I need M. D and M, and the zipper pocket. Cool. All right, the zipper pocket is not fully lined. I use SX linen since it doesn't have a right or wrong side and therefore looks finished when complete. To begin, place J, zipper, overlay, centered, and 1 inch down from the top using double-sided tape. Okay. So around the outside using 1/8 of an inch. I'm bringing my threads to the back. I was like, wait, they already were. All right, and then we're gonna cut D to make the zipper opening. Ooh, I'm a little scared. I'm going to use super sharp scissors for this and be really careful. And you want to try to cut that as consistently as you can, otherwise your zipper is going to look a little funky. now we want our 7-inch zipper. And we're gonna sew around that. Can use double-sided tape to hold it in place, or just hold it. My zipper tape doesn't quite match, but I think it coordinates well enough that I wasn't worried about it. I don't have any extra zipper tape here that's included in the box. So and now I need to remember to pull that zipper in. Pulling my thread. Spend so much time tying threads. All right, so now we're gonna take piece M. So they should pretty much meet up. I've got right sides together. Cut my extra zipper tape here. Alrighty, 1/4 inch seam allowance. And then top stitch the top edge. Okay. Oh crap, I forgot. I didn't print out all the pattern pages. All right. So the triangular sling tabs, if you want it to be a crossbody style, skip that. I don't want it to be a crossbody style. I don't know what we're doing with all of this. I'm just kind of clipping this in place for now. It just looks so nice. Okay, these are those lining pieces. So I'm just getting all of my snaps. Just kind of prepping everything in here. That and my tabs. All right, these are going to be, if you're planning to finish your bag, you can skip it. To make your bag into a sling style, you will need your 4 K pieces and 2 G tabs with the D-rings. You should have a pair of triangular tabs placed wrong sides together. Place 1 G tab on the short between the 2 layers. Okay. So that's what they look like. Okay, I'm gonna stick that in there and sew around the edge. And so if that is too bulky for your machine, you can sew the top edge and the side angled edge and just rivet through those tabs. And we're going to add 2 rivets. Okay, she has you add 1 rivet out further. I think I put mine in too far, but I'm okay with that. I'm going to add 2 rivets like that. But it makes sense, like with a domestic, if you can't get that close to your hardware, that you would want to leave that much hanging out. And then I'm going to add 2 nickel rivets in those locations. Finishing the back bag with pocket and snap tab. Snap tab, pocket, and back. Okay. Find the center piece of A without the credit card pockets. And measure 3.5 up from the bottom. Place snap tab wrong side up. Centered. All right, cool. Yeah, so you want you want to see your snap, because we're going to fold that down over the back pocket. Okay, oh, there it is. Your X should measure 3/4 by 1 inch, but my tab is pretty wide. Oh, 3/4 to 1 inch. Okay, okay. Okay. So now, put it on. Okay. Okay, that's with the fashion snap. Okay. For the magnetic snap, place your washer below the top stitching. Okay. Yeah, if you're using like the fashion snaps, it doesn't quite matter because you're gonna be sewing through it. Like, or I should say it just attaches. You don't have to worry about sewing or anything like that. I am gonna create a little stamp still. Just so I know a generalized area of where that needs to go. And then I'll make sure to mark it. This is so cute. All right. And now this is a little, like, not a preference for most people to be able to see that magnet inside. You could use a little piece of duct tape to cover it, but you're never gonna go up there. That's a big thing. Like, you're never gonna look up there. So. Now I understand why she has you stitch it down first, but we're okay. I feel like that is really clever. So you can put stuff there, close it so nothing falls out. Alrighty. Oh, all right. Crossbody option, you put your connectors down in here. That's cool. All right. All right, and then remember, there we go. What you see facing you will be facing out when the bag is finished. Okay, place it 3/4 of an inch down. All right, and then we'll be working on our zippers. So there are, from what I can tell, no pockets inside. Not really a big deal. You got a lot on the outside. You got a whole freaking wallet there. It's a freaking wallet. All right. my gosh, I love it. All right, I'm gonna clean up a little bit here. Prep our zipper. So we need our zipper tabs. I was honestly hoping I would find my snap hook at the end of all this, but I did not. All right. Make sure the zipper is trimmed to measure 8.5. It's a little bulby here. All right. Because there are so many variations in zipper type, the tabs are slightly oversized, and you will likely need to trim them down after sewing in place. Okay, trim even with zipper tape. Okay. Add that over. Well, it seems really big. Okay. That's a 1-inch zipper tab. I'm gonna trim it just a little bit. Took off 1/2 inch. Just because I want there to be plenty of zipper tape, you know? And you want to make sure that completely encases the edge of the zipper. And that's where my instructions end. It's okay. I mean, to be honest, I can kind of guess, but I will look it up on my phone. I'd printed it out and then my printer died, so that was super fun. But I'm gonna start with exterior here, double-sided tape. I'm just gonna add double-sided tape to the top of all of these. Right side of each piece. If you are using our water resistant canvas, the wrong side gets like a whitish hue when you scratch it or when you crumple it up. So kind of like the whitish hue, not the whitish hues. So let me look those up. Okay, we're gonna start with, freaked myself out. I'm not looking at paper anymore. There's like a, okay, it just looks like an angle or something there, and I was like, wait, what is that? All right. So basically you're lining that up with the flap. And then this is a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Zipper is shorter. Be sure to center it, place it. Okay. After sewing, open so that the lining, well, you know what I'm gonna do actually? I'm gonna be a little fancy. All right, we're gonna sew at a 1/4 inch as instructed. And then we do not top stitch. I recently made that Neo crossbody wallet. And it's not that I haven't seen the technique before. I was just like, I don't want to do that. And then I was like, oh, that's cool. So I'm going to do it. We're going to top stitch around in a box once we have everything together. And then that'll top stitch down the open end of our zipper tab. Yeah, this zipper tape was not a great match, but it's a fun color. The Project Box zipper tape color is this really pretty, like, neutral pink. Like, some colors it looks pink, some colors it looks tan up against, so it's kind of fun. Nope. Almost did a 3/8. I don't know that it would have made that big of a difference, but you would have had to do that for both sides if you were going to do a 3/8. Otherwise, it does make a difference. Okay, we're going to press this open. And then I'm going to start on the back. So everything is placed together. I'm going to start by top stitching through on one side. Pivot across the end of the other zipper tab and then continue. It's just a little tricky to get all those layers lined up. So yeah, there it is, top stitched. Like, ooh, so nice. All right, and then we're going to put right sides together. Large opening in the lining. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that I really needed the instructions to finish, so it's okay. This doesn't have like a boxed bottom or anything like that, but it probably could have a very tiny boxed bottom if you wanted to at some point. Try that. It might be a little weird because that's slip pocket though. Never mind. So we're lining up the zipper tabs so that they're even. I'm adjusting all these layers together. And then for the lining, it's 1/4 inch. I'm gonna do a little bit more than 1/4 to start, and then I'll transition to that 1/4 on the exterior. Back stitching at that pocket. Okay, and then interior increasing. And then I'm trimming until I get to the zipper tab, and then I'll stop. And I'll do the bottom corner. So zipper tab and lining. Otherwise, we're just going to turn this didn't make my zipper unzipped, but I can just drag my finger across it and it's fine. And then to get really nice looking corners, I want to open it up. So here is my corner. I'm going to press, I'm going to press my finger into it. So my middle finger is in that corner, and then I'm pressing my fingers together, like kind of like you're gonna snap in a way, but I'm pushing my nail into this corner. So it's like a motion. Pushing it in and then pushing it out. And that gets a nice, as crisp as possible corner without having to use like a turning tool and stuff like that. And then poke into that corner. Just pressing my finger into the corner. I like the little side flaps, but I feel like the flap having finished edges, I'm like, these should, but they don't. Not that they should, but I'm like, to me, I'm like, I would prefer it. But I understand that that would be so much bulk where they connect on a domestic. So I would say that's a change. If you don't like the raw edges, you could improvise, increase, and add a seam allowance to that pattern piece. Sew that shut. And stick the lining in. I'm so happy. It looks so cute. All right, and then again, I'm pressing my fingers into the corners. Because I increased that seam allowance, it should fit pretty nicely. It's super cute. So there's your wallet pieces, basically. And you've got what can hold a ton right here. So you could even put a thin extra wallet if you wanted to, but it'll hold your phone. And then you've got a little zipper pocket. And it is raw edged in there, but I don't think anybody would notice. And then inside is just a larger area. So let me grab my other snap hook and we'll finish this bag. I think it's super cute as a little sling bag. You could still technically use it as a crossbody with the flaps, but I don't know that you'd really want to. The flaps? I mean, not no. And you got that magnet there. I think all of my test cards are MIA, but I think it's super cute. I'll be honest, I wasn't sure how I felt about this pattern, but now that I've made it, I'm like, okay, it's pretty cool. So I hope you will check out Jess's other patterns. I was like, wait, did I cover the mic? But give her a follow on YouTube. She is hilarious and a very good friend of mine. And I love her so much, and I love this pattern. Okay, bye.